What's up everybody, it's Andy here and welcome to my Game Week 5 preview, a weekly show where I take you through my team for the coming up week, what transfers I'm making, who am I captaining, and just my general thoughts on some of my players about who I am or aren't looking at getting rid. Now I'll say in advance that I'm recording this on Tuesday night, so the first lot of Champions League games have gone, but not obviously the ones on Wednesday, so I've only got information up till Tuesday, but unfortunately I won't be able to record this later in the week, so it's got to be tonight. But other than that, let's just jump straight into it and I'll show you my team for this coming week and the transfers I'm looking to make. So, quick switch over and here's my team. Now, the first thing to notice is the first time that I haven't started Foster in goal. Now, I did have him literally up until the point I started recording this video in my starting 11, but I've just recorded the Scoutcast for those of you that watch it, and maybe I'm now thinking Stoke away is probably not as good as West Ham away. West Ham are a bit all over the place right now, and obviously Hernandez didn't do too well in the last game, but he had just come back from the international break. So I'm currently playing Elliott. That might change. I think Elliott looks good this week. Newcastle in general are keeping a decent amount of clean sheets. I think both Elliott and Foster have now got 2 and 4, so they're very similar, but I just think Elliott might be the better option this week. And I'll go through the players that I'm not looking at transferring out because I've got 2 free transfers, as it says. My current rank is 371,000. I'm not like upset about that or anything. I think there's a long way to go in the season yet. Maybe in like game week 8 to 10 I'll start worrying about my rank a bit more. But for now I'm not too bothered. I've got 2 free transfers to use though. And I'm thinking I'm going to use both of them this week and maybe even take a hit. So I'll go through the players I'm definitely not getting rid of first. So Elliott, obviously. Charlie Daniels, obviously superstar for me against Man City. I didn't play him last week, but he's got Brighton at home, so I absolutely have to play him this week. I'm hoping for the Bournemouth's first clean sheet and some attacking returns. I think Brighton did do well in their last game against West Brom, but I think they're probably lucky to score that many goals, and I'm not sure if they'll do it again, especially away from home. So Charlie Daniels definitely plays for me. Then moving into midfield, Mkhitaryan, a few people getting a bit cold feet about him, but he was very close to an assist in the last game. Champions League, he's played tonight. Okay, there were some times where he didn't look too great. You know, gave the ball away. Basel nearly scored a goal. Mourinho went nuts at him. But I think generally he's probably our most creative player, and he's going to keep starting. And I just think he could have had an assist last game, which would have been 6 assists in the first 4 games, which is crazy. So for that kind of money, I think the points are going to keep rolling in. We just want to get him having some more shots, basically, and hopefully the goals will come to him. Then that'll make him an absolutely unbelievable asset. But right now, good asset. Happy to keep him, especially as I got him for 8 million. Salah. As you can see, he's yellow flagged currently. Now that's because he was ill. He was sent home from Liverpool's kind of Champions League camp like game back to Liverpool basically under doctor's orders. But Klopp has said he should be okay to train as normal tomorrow. So we'll have to wait for more news on him, or I'll have to wait for more news. If he's out, I might look at getting rid of it because it's an illness. The maximum he's probably going to miss is just this game. So given that I think he's a really good asset still, I'll probably just keep him and play Tom Carroll. Which is not ideal, but yeah, I'm going to start Salah. I think he'll be back in training. I think Liverpool will need him, especially with Mane out. So I'm hoping he'll play. And then Eriksen got me 8 points last week. Really happy with him. Spurs, awesome fixtures. We just got to hope they start doing it at Wembley. We've not quite seen that yet, to be fair, but I think with the fixtures they got coming up, they're going to do that. Eriksen looks like a prime target to have assists, goals. He's got everything. Really good form already this season, so he's staying. And Atsu is also staying. I think last game week he probably missed out because of international break. And obviously he played 2 games for Ghana there, so I think he's probably going to come straight back into the team. And I think Stoke at home is an okay fixture. I'm not expecting miracles from him. He's only 5 million, but the odd assist here or there, maybe even the odd cheeky goal would be awesome. But right now he stays in my team because there's options like Richarlison, Choupo-Moting, Decore also at Watford. Brady at Burnley was like a bit of a bandwagon last week, even though he hadn't really done anything so far. But I just don't see any of them at absolute must-have. Same with Gross. I think very lucky to score 2 goals. He's only had 2 shots on target all season, and now he scored 2 goals in the last game. It's not going to keep happening. I don't think so anyway. I did jinx it last week, so hopefully I don't do that again. So I'm keeping Atsu mainly because there's not better options that I want to spend the money on. So again, not expecting big points, but he's an enabler for the rest of my team. Then we get up front. Kane obviously staying. I've kept him all this time. Finally scored 2 goals for us. And he's got great fixtures. I think Swansea's a brilliant fixture. Like Eriksen, we need to start seeing them do it at Wembley. And I think fixture-wise doesn't get much better than this, I think, at home. He's absolute standout captain choice for me this week. This is the kind of game where he can get a brace hat-trick, maybe a brace and assist. Do you know what I mean? He's up at the 15, 16, 17 points. So he's definitely my captain. There's not even any question about it. I've even got Eriksen captain ahead of Lukaku. That's how well I think Spurs will do. And then I've got Lukaku now. This is where we have to start talking about transfers. So I've got so many thoughts going around in my head. It's going to be tough for me to make a final decision in this video. If you are watching this, well, you will be watching this on Wednesday when I put it live. I will be streaming on Thursday night, so at that point, hopefully, I'll have made the decision. But the kind of ideas I'm looking at is there's two schools of thought really. Gabbiadini needs to go. He's been awful. Southampton have been awful. They don't look good in attack. He needs to go. The question is, do I go cheap and downgrade and get money to use elsewhere? Or do I go big and get Firmino in? Now, the problem is, I don't really like many of the cheap options. You've got Abraham and Joselu at Newcastle, who look okay for 5.5 million, but I feel like as soon as they don't do well, I'm going to want to transfer them back out again. At the 7 million mark, there's Chicharito, Hernandez at West Ham. Again, I don't know if he's much better than Gabbiadini anyway. I don't want Rooney for 7.5. I don't want Rashford for 7.5. He's not guaranteed to start. Mooney was a flash in the pan. It looks like he hasn't done very well since. There's Wood at Burnley, but, I mean, I don't see Burnley scoring many goals, and I don't see Wood scoring that many goals. His goal on the weekend was a gift, so who'd you go for? If Charlie Austin was nailed on, he'd absolutely be in my team, but he's just not, so I can't go there. So here's my transfer plans. If I want Firmino, I can do it in two ways. I can do Bertrand to a 4.9 million or less defender, and I'd probably look at someone like Moreno or Trent Alexander-Arnold, or maybe a Burnley defender, although they've not got the greatest game this week. And then I could afford Gabbiadini to Firmino, so I can do that in two transfers, don't have to take a hit. I've got Firmino, but the person I don't have is Ben Davies, and I think he looks like great value. He's the highest scoring player in the game right now. He's 5.7 million, maybe even 5.8 million before the next game week starts, game week 5. I just think for that money, he's got assists in his locker. He can score goals. Obviously, he's not going to score a goal every game, but he's going to get you the odd goal. And clean sheets look, as always, kind of the same as last season, maybe even the season before. Clean sheets for Spurs are just something that comes to them naturally. So I really want Ben Davies. So here's what I could do. Instead of Bertrand to a 4.9 and Gabbiadini to Firmino, I could do Gabbiadini to Joselu or Abraham. So that will give me 2.5 million in the bank, and just do Sutner to Davies. Or I could keep Gabbiadini and do Bertrand to Davies. It's tough. The other thing I've looked at, which would take a 4-point hit, is Lukaku, Gabbiadini and Bertrand out, which would give me Firmino for Gabbiadini, Davies for Bertrand, and Morata or Jesus for Lukaku. Now that's risky because I'm using a -4 hit when I probably don't need to, and I'm also taking out the highest owned player in the game. Like Lukaku's on around 60%. So because I'm not going to make a transfer decision in this video, two things really. One, comment below, let me know which one you think. Is it best that I just get rid of Gabbiadini, bring in Firmino and forget about Davies? Do I just get Davies and downgrade Gabbiadini? Or do I make the hit, take out Lukaku, Gabbiadini and Bertrand for Davies, Morata or Jesus and Firmino? Let me know what you think. But two, let's talk about dropping Lukaku. So, first of all, yes, it's an absolute risk. 60% owned. If he goes and bangs in a hat-trick, you've not got him, and other people have captained him, like, it doesn't have to be this week, like maybe in a couple of weeks, then it's going to hurt you. But Kane is probably our captain for the good few weeks now, at least for the next 5 or 6 weeks. Most of the time you're going to captain Kane, I'd say. And in the coming weeks, say in the next kind of 4 or 5, you might start looking at captaining players like Jesus and Morata. So, can you take Lukaku out? I think it's a risk. I've said that a few times already. But I look at it and think he scored 4 and 4, so there's no reason to get rid of him. He's not done anything to warrant getting rid of him. But Morata and Jesus are also scoring decently points-wise. So I think they can possibly match him for $1 million less. So in my team in particular, obviously you've all got to look at your own teams as they are. But in my team, it's Lukaku and Gabbiadini, or Morata / Jesus, one of those two, and Firmino. And you've got to think that latter is going to score more points. And if I'm captaining Lukaku in most games anyway, why does it matter if I get rid of Lukaku? So I'll be honest, I don't think that's the way I'm going to go, because I'll be too afraid of getting rid of Lukaku. And I do sometimes play this game with fear, but at the same time, I think ownership does. Ownership can matter, so you know there's a reason that a lot of the top players will keep in those players with high ownership. I mean, and let's be honest, he's got high ownership for a good reason. He scored 4 and 4 for Man United. Man United have been scoring well. It doesn't look like that's been a fluke. He scored again in Europe tonight. It's not only 4 and 4; it's 6 and 6 for Man United. So that's my options. That's the preview. Kane captain. A bunch of transfer decisions I don't know about yet. Salah will stay on my team regardless, I think, of whether he plays this week. But that's the kind of players I'm looking to get rid of. Bertrand, to talk about Southampton really quickly. They've got 2 away games, and I think Man United at home in the next 3. I think this is a good time to get off of Southampton assets. I think Southampton in general just don't look too good. So yeah, good time to get off them. And I'd maybe even look at getting them back if they show signs of improvement in game week 8, because then they've got 3 really good home fixtures in the next 4 from game week 8 onwards. And we've seen Southampton really nail it in game week 8 before, so we'd also have more of an idea of whether Van Dijk's back, whether Hoyt's going to play, Stevens, Yoshida, what's happening with them. So I think now's a good time to get off Southampton and maybe get back on them in game week 8. So that's kind of my thoughts for this preview. Apologies that I've not made any transfers, but I've got to record this on Tuesday night. And to be honest, I don't want to put it out on Thursday because that only leaves another day for people to watch it. And I probably won't have made my transfers by Wednesday night either because the Champions League will be on. So I've really got to give this some thought. There's a chance I might do live transfers in the stream. So if you're around, I'll be streaming on Thursday night. I don't know the exact time right now. There's a chance I'll do it earlier than 9:30 if I can. But otherwise, 9:30 is my usual start time. So yeah, thanks for watching this. If you did enjoy it, enjoyed hearing my thoughts, give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. As always, you guys have been really great at supporting the videos with likes. If you're new around here, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell so you know when my next video is going live, and also when I'm streaming. That will pop up and let you know that I'm live streaming right now, right here. And I'll basically just answer your questions. No pre-submitted questions. They're all answered live with me basically not knowing what you guys are going to ask. So like, comment, share. I'd really appreciate your thoughts on what my transfer plans are. Let me know what you're thinking this week. Who are you captaining? Is anyone going without Kane? And more importantly, does anyone with Kane not going with him? Because obviously if you don't own him, you can't. But if you've got him, is there anyone that's thinking of going elsewhere? I'd imagine not, but I'd be really interested to hear your thoughts. So I'm going to leave it there. I don't think there's anything else to go through right now. Like I say, Tuesday night, that's all the info I've got. That's what I'm thinking about doing. Gabbiadini is definitely going this week. It's just a matter of who for. So I'll leave it there. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Cheers for watching, and I'll catch you later on.